Before I introduce the keynote speaker, please allow me to share his background. Josh Mori is a founder of Kaua, an educational and cultural resource for sustainable food production, wellness, and community enhancement to benefit West Kauai and future generations. Born on Oahu to a family that traces their cultural roots to the mixture of Hawaiian, Asian, Welsh, German, and American Indian heritage. He lived in Colorado, Oregon, Montana, and California before returning home to Hawaii with a master's degree in Native American Studies from Montana State University. Today, Josh is working with Waimea High School on the farm project Namahi Ho'oko'a'e. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm aloha to Mr. Josh Mori.
It's so awkward. I'm glad it's awkward for you too. Thank you. Aloha mai kākou. Aloha, perfect, we got it. Super thankful to be here. I don't have any papers because I knew they would nail it. And I'm really grateful that they went first because it kind of filled my mind with things to talk about, and we'll be quick about it. But I want to first, if all the graduates can stand up. Shake yourself out a little bit. You can sit down. See the power you have with a microphone? It is a beautiful thing. But I want you to look out and find your ohana. And if you know more ohana, find people who inspired you, because nobody did this alone. Yeah? Awesome. You can sit down. For reals, though, the microphone's really fun. It's like Simon Says, but you don't have to say Simon Says. I want to mahalo Margaret and KCC for insisting that I make an appearance today. I originally said no. I did, yeah, I did. And I said I don't do graduations at all. I haven't been to a graduation of mine that I wanted to be at. And so when I really thought about it, when I said number one, I said, who'd you ask that said no? Why me? And she said, wow, Josh, you work with so many kids, you know so many kids, why wouldn't you want to be here? So I thought about it. And I really thought long and hard, and so I thought about my high school graduation, of which I didn't want to go to. I fought with my parents all morning. We had to have an intervention. My sister had to come home from college, had to sit us down. And I had to say, I don't want to go there. I don't want to be there. It's not for me. I felt really, it wasn't a good thing. But I went, and I'm really grateful that I went. And then I went on to college, which I didn't think I was going to do, and I really appreciate and hold space for your stories. I identify with a lot of those stories as well. So I went on and went to a junior college, and I remember thinking, I got a 4.0 at a junior college. All right, cool. Why do I have to go to the graduation? They said, well, you're the valedictorian. We need you to give a speech. And I said, okay. So I went and I tried out. I turned in my script, and I went and I tried out in front of a council like this council up here. And I urged the people in Merced, California to never come to Hawaii until Native Hawaiians were allowed the opportunity to control the tourism industry. And they took the microphone, and they said, oh, you won't be speaking at graduation. I said, well, you're going to give me 10 minutes with a microphone. That's what I want to talk about. So I promised Margaret we wouldn't have that same speech. Then I fast-forwarded in my mind to my bachelor's, and I thought long and hard about what that graduation meant. And that graduation to me was a promise to my mom, who didn't get to graduate college because she had children at a young age, that I would get her a degree. And that was solely for her. And I felt really proud. At that commencement, I felt like I gave that degree to my mother, and she was allowed to have that, and that was as much hers as mine. And then when I got my master's, I said, that's for me. And I still didn't want to go to the graduation. And the funniest part about it was I was really thinking about this. And the whole department, there was my best friend in the whole world, not my wife, but my best friend that I talked to every morning was in the same department as me. And we just happened to be the only two minorities. And we happened to be at the very end of our line. And we happened in all of the graduation pictures to be seated by ourselves in the very back row of the graduation. And having this opportunity really made me reflect on the friendships that I made in college, the opportunities that presented themselves that I never thought I was worth, that feeling of imposter syndrome that sometimes we get when we achieve something, and we don't think that maybe we're right for it. Why am I doing this? How did I get through this? What's next for me? And I was given a great opportunity to reflect on those opportunities that I've been given. And then now as I find myself, again, potentially in school, in my candidacy for my PhD, thinking about what another graduation looks like for me and what it looks like for the people around me. And I really want to hold space for everybody in your corner, everybody who's rooted for you, who you didn't think about, who you didn't think was maybe holding space for you, cheering you on. And not everybody has that network that we might think of as an extended family who's there cheering you on. Some people have great obstacles to overcome to be here today. Some people are first generation, right, in college. Everything that you've been through to be here is awesome and is a part of it. The bad things, they empower you, right? The great things, they motivate you. And the people behind you, oftentimes when I thought about why I didn't like my graduation, because I was being selfish. And I wasn't thinking about everybody who came before me who didn't have the opportunity. Yeah. From my grandma, who wasn't allowed to speak Hawaiian because it wasn't popular, and she would just enforce in my head, you have to go to school, you have to go to school. And I said, I don't want to go to school. You have to go to school. For my parents, who my mom did not get to graduate college, was a single mother with little children, and didn't have the opportunity to graduate because she chose to raise us. You know, your siblings, you don't know who's looking up to you, little cousins, etc., and kids in the community. So everybody, you may not think about it, it may seem like a really small step, it may seem like a huge step, and it's all those things. And you don't know where you're gonna go, and that's a good thing. I wanted to come up and leave you with something that was inspirational and all of that, but I figured I would just share with you a little story about how I got here, number one, and why I'm in a t-shirt in front of you, and how grateful I am to have the opportunity to speak to future graduates. I think, obviously I don't write anything down, that's just how it is. But I do think that if I was to encapsulate what I hope for you all, and when we think about the motto of this graduation and how you're to embody being an a'ali'i and be resilient, it's to enjoy this time, is to really sit in that gale force wind and really let your roots become solid. Yeah, when those things in life happen that you can't control, find that space within yourself to embrace it, because it will continue to turn you into the thing that you're supposed to be. Yeah? And I hope as you all are being fed by this little bit ua coming in, and you're being fed by all this knowledge in this beautiful place, that you're sitting in this moment and you're being present in this moment in a way that I never was as a student. It was always on to the next thing, on to the next thing. And I hope you're able to enjoy tonight, enjoy this beautiful ceremony and this wonderful clouds that is covering us from the heat. And I hope you're then able to reestablish yourself in your goals, and in whatever it is, that you feel like you have a network now. If you came into KCC and didn't feel like you had ohana behind you, or and you were by yourself and you were a silo and you had to do this alone, I hope you now feel like you have an ohana. Because you look out here in all these faces, and everybody's going to be watching you come across this stage. And I hope you take time to really sink that in and know that everybody out here is so proud of you, proud of your efforts, and proud of what you're going to do in the future. So class of 22, 23, I appreciate your time. Ohanas, I appreciate your time in KCC. And I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to enjoy this beautiful graduation.